Today we're going to be creating a lace frontal wig. So an overview of the hair, I have the 13x4 lace closure in the body wave texture, and I believe this one is 12 inches and it came pre-plucked. And I also have the bundles 18, 20, and 22 inches in the body wave texture as well. So I'm starting off with my canvas head, and I have the mesh dome cap because it's more breathable. And I'm going to start by laying my frontal in the middle of the cap. And I'm also going to make sure that the frontal hangs over the cap about a ½ inch or so. And that's the section that's going to lay in front of your hairline. So I'm using a T-pin to pin that into place so it doesn't move. And I'm also going to show you there is some slack with the lace, so it shouldn't lay completely against the canvas head just yet. But I'm also going to show you where I pinned the frontal down. So there's a pin at the top and there's also a T-pin on either side. I'm also showing you how flat the frontal is laying on the canvas head. There's no rippling or no bubbling. It's just laying flat against the head, and that's how it should lay. Now I'm showing you my C-curve needle and how I double knotted the thread at the end. And I'm going to start in the middle and sew down to one side, and then I'll do that to the other. But I'm going through the mesh cap, through the lace closure, and I'm making sure to lock that thread in place by going through the two ends of the thread. And you'll kind of see me doing that. It's easier to watch. So you can kind of see me going through the mesh, through the lace closure, and the lace frontal, and going through the two ends of the thread with the needle to lock the thread in place. Okay, once you get to the end where this thick dark band is, you want to make sure to only go through that first layer of mesh. So with the band, there's that layer of mesh, there's the elastic band on the inside, and there's the layer of mesh on the back side that's against the canvas head. You only want to go through that top layer of mesh. If you go through the elastic band, you're going to stop the cap from being able to stretch. You won't be able to stretch anymore. It'll be too tight. So make sure you only go through that first layer of mesh so that you don't take away the stretch from the cap. On this very last stitch, you're going to see me lock this thread into place even more. I'm going to wrap the thread around the needle like 3 or 4 times, and I'm going to pull it through, and that's going to create a knot to lock the stitch into place so that the thread doesn't unravel. All right, so both sides are sewed down. Look at those stitches. And you can see the flaps on the side. Those are the side burns, or the part that you cut off that goes around your ear, so that's perfectly fine. Supposed to be there. And I put the hair up so that I could see better once I start sewing. Okay, so I'm starting to sew the first bundle in. Again, I'm only going through that first layer of mesh. To begin with, I did go through the end of the frontal as well. So I'm going through the frontal, the mesh dome cap, and the weft of the track, and I'm sewing that down. Here I'm going to use a T-pin to hold the track in place as I sew it down, just so it doesn't move. All right, this is a better view. I'm not cutting any of the wefts. I'm just going to do the flip over method where I flip the track over without cutting it, and you're going to see how flat it still lays. Okay, I'm now on the second bundle of hair. For the first bundle, I did double up the wefts. For the second and the third, the last bundle, I'm not going to do that just because I want to make sure that the wig is as flat as possible, especially at the top. But notice that there is some spacing in between the tracks. They're close, but they're not too close, because I do want to make sure that I don't run out of hair when I get to the top, or I don't have to redo anything. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Okay, I am down to my last bundle. This is the 18-inch bundle. So while I was doing the other two, I was kind of curving the tracks, and for this last bundle I'm just gonna go side to side. So that's what you see me doing here. I've already started laying it, and I'm just sewing this side to side until I get to the top by the frontal, and then I'm going to sew that last track and the frontal together. So I'll let you see me go ahead and sew this, and then I'll show the very last part as well. Okay, this is the only weft I cut. That was the last bundle, and I cut where I was ending it. And I'm going to go through the end of that weft I'm going to struggle a little bit because it is thick, but I go through that just because I want to lock it in place. I hate when I have that little end piece sticking out and it bothers me. So that's what I'm doing here. And the wig is done after this. Y'all, this wig came out so pretty. I'm going to cut out the mesh cap that's in front of the frontal. Make sure not to cut any thread. You don't want to mess up all that hard work you just did, but I'm cutting out where the frontal is. This is the hair after I watercolored it. I do have a detailed video on how I watercolor hair, so I'll leave that link in the description box. I really like this color and it's much more vibrant in person. And here is the final look. If you learned something new, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.